Good afternoon, dear students. Now, in the previous lecture, we have discussed the degree of reaction turbine. Now, we are going to analyze reaction turbine. In the previous lecture, we have told you that there is a turbine with 50% of degree of reaction, that is called as Parson turbine. So, for the analysis of reaction turbine, we have taken Parson turbine into consideration. And first of all, we are going to discuss the velocity diagram of reaction turbine. As like impulse turbine, the diagram is similar to somewhat that impulse turbine. This U is the mean blade velocity. Suppose this is a blade, and this is the U. This is the mean blade velocity. This V1. V1 is the absolute velocity of the steam that is coming from the fixed blade, and the relative velocity between V1 and U is VR1, and the angle between V1 and U is alpha 1, and alpha 1 is the angle at which fixed blade is fixed, and this VR1, the angle between VR1 and U is beta 1, and beta 1 is the blade inlet angle. In the similar way, this portion is the inlet velocity diagram, this portion. Now, this is the outlet velocity diagram. U is common in both outlet and inlet. V2 is the velocity of the steam which is leaving the blade, and there is a relative velocity in between V2 and U, that is VR2. This V2 is the angle between VR2 and U, that is the blade outlet angle, and this alpha 2 is the angle between V2 and U, that is the blade outlet angle, and this VW1 and VW2 is the tangential component of V1. VW1 and VW2 is the tangential component of V1. So there are certain conditions of Parson turbine. In the Parson turbine, it is assumed that alpha 1, that is the angle of fixed blade, is equals to beta 2. This is the angle at outlet. Beta 1, that is the blade inlet angle, is considered equal to the angle at which steam leaves the blade. And in the Parson turbine, the absolute velocity of the steam entering the blade is equals to the relative velocity of the steam at the outlet, and the relative velocity of steam at inlet is equals to the absolute velocity of the steam leaving the blade. So these are the conditions which are related to the Parson turbine. So these are some formula which we have already discussed in that impulse turbine, that delta VW is equals to VW1 plus VW2 is equals to V1 cos alpha plus V2 cos alpha. This I have already discussed in the impulse turbine. Now delta VW is equals to V1 cos alpha 1 plus VR2 cos beta 2 minus U, that I have already discussed, that this is this part. Because V2 cos alpha 2 is this one. I have already told you that. And we have know the condition of the Parson turbine. Now putting the value of VR2 equals to V1, and cos beta 2 will equals to alpha 1. So therefore it can be written as delta VW is equals to V1 cos alpha plus V1 cos alpha 1 minus U, and that will be delta VW is equals to 2 V1 cos alpha 1 minus U. This is U. So now, according to as we have done in the impulse turbine, the work done in a stage per kg of mass flow rate, we take mass flow rate as per kg. So therefore work done is equals to delta VW into U. This is similar case of impulse turbine. So therefore, by putting the value of delta VW that we have find in this stage, this one. So VW is equals to 2V1 cos alpha 1 minus U multiplied by U. So this is the work done in case of reaction turbine which is having 50% degree of reaction. Now the next step is to calculate the amount of input energy. So what is the amount of input energy? It is important to calculate the amount of input energy because in the impulse turbine kinetic energy is given as input to the moving blade only. So for the impulse turbine, the blade efficiency is work done divided by Ke, that is the kinetic energy that is applied to the moving blade. But in the reaction turbine, the enthalpy drop will take place in fixed blade as well as in moving blade. So we will consider the kinetic energy change in the fixed blade part as well as in the moving blade part. So let us consider that E in that is the energy input is equals to half V1 square by 2, that is the amount of the kinetic energy that is entering into the moving blade, and this part V2 square by 2 minus VR1 square by 2 per kg of steam. This is the kinetic energy which is available, the kinetic energy change available on the moving blade part. So half mv1 square is the kinetic energy at the entry of the moving blade, and half VR2 square minus VR1 square is equals to kinetic energy change on the moving blade. This is the kinetic energy change. So we consider both the changes, the kinetic energy at the entry of the blade plus kinetic energy change on the moving blade. So putting the value of VR2, putting the value of VR2 as V1, because in the Parsons turbine we have discussed that VR1 is equals to V1. VR2 is equals to V1. So we have put that VR2 is equals to V1. So energy input is equals to half V1 square plus half V1 square. We have put V1 in place of VR2 minus half VR1 square. So energy input will be written as V1 square minus half VR1 square. Now we have to find out the value of this VR1 square. So for the value of VR1, we will use cosine rule. What is cosine rule? If there is a triangle which is having an angle ACB and which is having the side BAC. Now in that case, according to the cosine rule, C square, that is this one, is equals to A square, that is this, plus B square, this, minus 2AB cos C. And what is this cos C? This is this angle cos C. So by considering this velocity triangle, this is U, this is VR1 and this is V1. This is the inlet velocity triangle and this is alpha 1. So applying cosine rule to this triangle, so we will get VR1 square is equals to V1 square plus U square minus 2 V1 U cos alpha 1. So we will get the value of VR1 square by the help of cosine rule. So putting the value of VR1 square in the input energy equation, we will get final value that half V1 square minus U square plus 2 V1 U cos alpha 1. This is the amount of the input energy that is supplied to the blade. Now the next target is to find out the blade efficiency or diagram efficiency. Now we know that for the blade efficiency, it is defined as work done divided by energy input. Work done on the blade divided by energy input. And what we have find for the work done, we have find work done is equals to U in bracket 2 V1 cos alpha 1 minus U. And what is the value of E input? That is this one. So we have placed these two values in this equation. We will get the final relation like this. Blade efficiency is equals to this. So in the next step, what we have done, in the next step, we have taken U from this equation common. So U square in bracket 2V1 over U cos alpha 1 minus 1. We will get this, and in this, from this equation, we have taken V1 square common. V1 square common from this equation. So we will get half V1 square in bracket this value. This value. Now we have already discussed that in the impulse turbine, the blade efficiency, to find out the maximum blade efficiency, we have to find out the value of U by V1. That will be the blade coefficient, blade speed coefficient. So now we are going to calculate the value of blade speed coefficient. So this is the value of blade efficiency. Now this U by V1 is rho, as we consider in the impulse turbine. So place U by V1 as rho in this equation. So we will get this equation. Blade efficiency is equals to 2 rho square in bracket 2 cos alpha 1 over rho minus 1 divided by 1 minus rho square plus 2 rho cos alpha 1. So finding out the maximum efficiency, we have to calculate differentiation of this neta by rho and put it equals to 0. So what we have done, we have differentiate this with respect to rho and put it as 0. So by differentiation, we will get this equation. So solving this equation, we will get rho optimum. Rho optimum means the rho value of rho at which we will get the maximum blade efficiency. So rho optimum comes to be cos alpha 1 by solving this equation. So by putting rho optimum is equals to cos alpha 1 in the value of blade efficiency, we will get the maximum value of blade efficiency in case of reaction turbine, that is equal to 2 cos square alpha 1 over 1 plus cos square alpha 1. So this is the maximum blade efficiency we will get with the help of reaction turbine for the optimum value of rho, that is cos alpha 1. So this is how we analyze the reaction turbine. In this way, we have completed the analysis of reaction turbine. So only one topic is left, that is the reheat factor. We will discuss that reheat factor in next lecture. Thank you so much.